over most moisture skin will be like person sweating. It makes the person feel cold because it is evaporating this moisture from its body. Humidity. High humidity will retard the heat loss by evaporation. The drier the air, the greater the rate at which the heat will be lost from the body to the environment. Then we have our second group of elements, which are urban temperatures. There are some physical structures on built-up areas that can affect microclimate inside cities. Some of these elements are urban morphology, urban density, street size and orientation, size and distribution of space, and building height. All these components work together to create this effect, which is called the urban heat island. What is the urban heat island? This states that in a built-up area, this place will gain a higher temperatures than their urban area. Why? This is due to the factor that there are some elements such as rooftops or some ground coverings such as asphalt which absorbs heat and retain them for a longer period of time. And this will cause an increase in temperature that will vary from 50 to 70 degrees higher than the ambient temperature. This doesn't happen with vegetation or other natural elements in landscaping. That's why in rural areas the temperatures will be lower. Method. We have chosen landscape as a strategy to create desirable urban climate, which will be achieved by combining natural elements and effects in the landscape design. A good quality of landscape design has to be able to adapt its functionality to modify four key microclimate components, which are wind velocity, humidity, temperature, and radiation. The importance and the use of plants in thermal comfort environment. There are some natural elements that we can find in landscaped environments that can help us if we use them in a smart design to achieve a thermal desired comfort. This is the case of plants. Plants can help cool down an environment because they absorb heat instead of reflecting it toward other buildings or toward people as other physical elements would. We have four main ways to modify the microclimate environment through landscape elements. The first of them we have is solar radiation. Solar radiation can help cool down an environment because it blocks solar radiation that hitting the ground with its leaves and branches. We have wind control and modification. Wind can carry away heat from the surroundings of a building or a pedestrian level. If we combine natural elements such as vegetation with some other architectural designs or landforms, we could direct the wind direction, increase or decrease its speed, and use it in our favor for natural ventilation. Then we have relative humidity. Relative humidity is plants will transpire water into the atmosphere and they will reduce the ambient temperature. Ground covering. Ground coverings of natural elements absorb heat and don't redirect it to other objects as difference with asphalt, for example, that is a physical element. When you have a ground cover made of a natural element, the degrees underneath this will be around 10 to 15 degrees colder than another type of ground cover. Now that we know all these characteristics and how we can apply them, we can create designs that combine all these elements and to help us to create thermal comfort in outer spaces. One of these methods we can apply is called the canopy layer, which is a design whose it's basically formed of 3 layers of natural elements: the upper layer, middle layer, and the field layer. In this diagram, we can see how this will be formed and how it could be applied near, for example, buildings in urban areas. The upper layer is formed of big and loose density streets. This will help prevent the solar radiation, but still will let some solar rays for the rest of the other layers. The middle layer is made up of medium-high density trees. This one is to achieve cooling by evaporation. It will moderate the surrounding temperature and humidity and will allow moisture detention. Our final layer, which is field layer, is made of plants that will maximize transpiration process and humidity levels. With this final layer, we see how the landform helps to redirect wind in the direction we desire. It'll make warm, dry air rises up into the atmosphere, and it will cool the wind that will flow through it and will create a cooling effect on building or on pedestrian levels. Our conclusion. Environmental conditions can't be changed, but there are some strategies and elements we can manipulate to create a thermal comfort environment, not just for a pedestrian level, but also to reduce energy consumption inside buildings. I would like to thank, first of all, my home institution in Honduras, and the College of Architecture, and my director, Professor Nader Shafong, letting me be part of this project, and all the large staff, my Dr. Maria Teresa and Nadia Alvarez.
Did you get to apply any of those, any knowledge that you acquired?
No, I didn't. Actually, this study, you still have like way far to go. It is before applying it. It's a very extensive topic. I wanted it to, but when I talked to my mentor, he told me, you really first have to understand how all these factors affect people, so you could really apply like real solution based on the knowledge.
That kind of design here at in Tucson?
Well, actually, outside our college, the landscaping college, they try to do it. But like I told you, I don't know if they didn't have like the further studies, but they still lacking some improvement. And I haven't seen that much, and actually that's why they're working a lot on this kind of projects to start like teaching people. They could do this and will really make an improvement.
Well, I would like to make a comment because here the environment is very dry and there is dryness here, and I was imagining if you want to have grass or another plant, you need to water that plant. It's going to be expensive. Maybe you can think that looking for local species of trees and some bushes in order to get that kind of distribution of different layers of plants.
Yeah, exactly. That would be like the second part of the research. Because yeah, it's true. It's really important when you find local species of trees or vegetation, because if not, definitely it won't be cost effective. So it is like really important. It would be like the next step to follow, to learn all the species in the area.
Thank you.
Any other questions?